Oh, you have to look the other way, Brooke.
Hi, Pete Rose here, in the hall. I love being in the hall. It's the perfect place to walk down memory lane in my Skechers Relax Fit shoes.
Pete, you're not supposed to be in the hall.
Even at home.
All right, so while Pete Rose makes fun of himself for not being allowed into the Baseball Hall of Fame, it does kind of bring up that question: is should he be? Many feel that he should be allowed to be in the Hall of Fame because he claims that he never bet against his team to lose when he got caught gambling. It's my belief that he should not be allowed in the Hall of Fame. So why was he permanently banned? It seems pretty excessive for just betting on baseball. But in the late 1980s, it was rumored that Pete Rose had been gambling, and in fact gambling on baseball. So after a long investigation, the Dow report came out, and in it they cited credible evidence that Pete Rose had in fact engaged in gambling, and he engaged in gambling on the team that he was currently managing. But he vehemently denied that he ever did gamble on baseball, yet he still agreed to a permanent ban in 1989. The rule that applied to him is Rule 21D, and it states that any player, umpire, club official, employee who shall bet any sum whatsoever upon any baseball game in connection with which the bettor has no duty to perform shall be declared ineligible for 1 year, and any player, umpire, club official, or employee who shall bet any sum of money whatsoever on a baseball game in connection with which the bettor has a duty to perform shall be declared permanently ineligible. And then, hence, since he was the manager of that team, his ban was forever. This rule came into existence following the 1919 World Series, when the Chicago White Sox, who better became known as the Black Sox, threw the games to allow the Cincinnati Reds to win. Pete Rose did finally come clean in 2004. He fessed up to the fact that he had, in fact, bet on his team while he was managing them. He did claim that he never bet against his team and never did anything to throw a game. But we only have his word on that. He has applied twice to have his ban lifted. And as Mike Schmidt wrote for the New York Times in December of 2015, he told the current commissioner of baseball that he does still continue to bet. He bets on baseball, but to him that's okay because it's legal where he lives in Las Vegas. His appeal was denied. Ted Bird wrote for the USA Today Sports, betting on baseball jeopardizes the sport's integrity in a way that steroids never did. Guys juicing up to hit more homers are still working to help their team win, but players accruing big gambling debts risk succumbing to temptations of game fixing. No one has ever accused Pete Rose of throwing games, but the league cannot allow even the possibility of the perception of a compromised contest. He also further writes in his article, to be honest, it's sad, because Pete Rose loves baseball as much as anyone ever will, and desperately wants to contribute to the game again. But he knew the rules, and he broke them, and one could easily argue that the best possible contribution that he has to the game at this point is serving as a living, breathing example of what happens when guys bet on baseball games. So while Pete Rose is indisputably one of the greatest players to ever play the game, has more hits than anyone, has played in more games than anyone, he knew what the rules were, and he decided to break them. In baseball's eyes, he committed a mortal sin, and that is he ruined the integrity of the game. Another reason is He was not honest about his gambling when he was first confronted. So the fact that he only has his word that he never bet against his team is not something that the commissioner could let go. His banning of baseball shows that no one player is greater than the sport itself. That's it.